will it be possible to put America first when there is this much of a brutal mess to clean up in the wake of such predictable foreign policy from Team Biden? Joining us to answer this and more is Robert Greenway, combat veteran, intelligence expert, and advisor at the Heritage Foundation at their Davis Institute for National Security and Foreign Policy. Robert, it's good to see you on the media side of things. I remember you from the Trump White House days, and it's good to have you back on.
It's a great pleasure to see you again and to be with you on the show.
I know that a lot has happened just overnight, and I wanted to ask you, what is your initial impression about what the reaction has been out of Iran with the killing of their Hamas leader, and what can we expect in the immediate next week?
I so appreciate that. That is a great series of questions. I'll start with what has happened so far. And in the end, I think Israel is sending some pointed messages to Iran, the sponsor of all of this activity really since before October the 7th, but certainly afterwards. So the strikes are designed to send the message that there isn't a safe place for them to hide. Second, that Iran is not immune from this. They've shown no reluctance to strike within Iran's borders. And third, I think they're sending a message to surrogates and proxies that they can't expect protection regardless of where they reside. And fourth, I would say that Israel knows that retaliation is coming, and so they're deliberately striking individuals that have the capacity to retaliate and respond. Just today, there's been reports of an IRGC Aerospace Force commander responsible for missile and drone programs killed outside Damascus. And so operations continue.
Well, so that's what to expect. I think that's important to be thinking about and considering as we try and predict how they're going to respond. But my next question is more policy-oriented. How can we commit to America First policies when you look into the horizon? You have so many of these raging international fires that seem to have burst onto the radar under the Biden administration. Success against those enemies almost singularly hinge on U.S. support. So how does an America First foreign policy balance strength and non-interventionism on the other hand?
That's a great question, Chanel. I'd say in the Trump administration and what we could expect, I think if he's given a second term, is we focus first on what are United States' vital national security interests and not distract ourselves with additional causes. We have lots of interests, but only a certain number of those are vital. And I think certainly restoring deterrence is going to be critical because it's necessary to balance and keep global energy and trade markets upon which the United States economy is dependent and upon which we're the greatest beneficiaries. That's our core interest in the Middle East. It always has been. And without it, we're going to have an imposed cost on American citizens. Second, I think we need to focus on our partners and allies, Israel, and its integration into the region, the normalization projects that resulted in President Trump brokering the Abraham Accords. And third, all of that to confront our adversaries, the threats to those interests and our partners, and that is Iran, and the constellation of surrogates and proxies that have executed horrific attacks against the United States and our partners, including Israel.
Well, in your opinion, at this point, with both Hezbollah and Hamas losing their key leaders, is this a turning point? Or is this the start of a very messy escalation?
I think we're on an escalation trajectory, and I don't think anything can stop it absent U.S. intervention at this point to restore order and to side with Israel and to demonstrate to the Iranians that the price they pay is not simply what Israel can do in response, but what Israel and the United States can do. They need to hear and believe that message, and so do our other partners and allies in the region. It has to be the U.S. in partnership with Israel to restore the deterrence in its current state. Without that, I fear we're going to slip further into a regional conflict.
For all our viewers asking where One America News is heading in the future, we would like to introduce you to OAN Live. OAN Live is the best way to stay up to date on all of the hard-hitting, straight-shooting, national and international headlines. And the best part is, OAN Live is only $4.99 per month. All the credible, honest, unbiased reporting One America News offers at a fraction of the cost of cable. Just go to OANN.com to easily sign up for OAN Live and stay informed.